All right, I'm here with one of our most how do I say this, profound students. I think that's an actual great description for you, Baxter. This has been truly an honor to watch you go through this course. You've gone through with so much grace and just kind of took it step by step, and I could see you literally. It's like each call, each day, like 1 to 2%, you're just getting better and better. And you took your time with launching your program. And again, it's been incredibly fun to watch you just grow within this course and then just to see you on the support calls. So thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no worries. Thanks, Ryan.
So you tell us a little bit more about yourself, how long you've been teaching, style of yoga that you came in on, just a little bit more about yourself.
Okay, so I'd been teaching for 16 years, classes and running events, and most recently in 2014. So about 6 years ago, I graduated as a yoga therapist as a 3-year course out of KYM in
Wow,
India.
3 years.
Yeah,
Wow, that's in
yeah,
depth.
it was over 600 hours with an internship in Chennai at the end alongside the doctor who was teaching us. So the doctor was an MD as well as the head yoga therapist at KYM for over 20 years. And so he taught us the pathology of disease and how to apply the tools of yoga to it. And it came straight from Krishnamacharya lineage. And so
Wow.
really, really wonderful, wonderful work, and if it wasn't in the sutras, then it's not yoga, and then we can't apply it to the individual. So it was all about using this 4,000-year-old, textbook for modern conditions, and it's fascinating. I mean, the whole subject of yoga is fascinating, which is what's kept me in and interested for 16 years. Normally I'm a person who loves variety, and I traveled so much. I was a chef on yachts. I was literally, a drunken sailor swilling rum at every port prior to yoga. But yoga really just grounded me and pinned me and kept me focused because it's a fascinating study of the body and the mind. And so I haven't really had a choice when it's come to do anything else other than yoga. And I've been lucky enough that I've really enjoyed the challenge of being creative inside the yoga industry. Classes are fine, but I realized that wasn't going to support me. So I've always looked at how to be more creative as a yoga teacher and how to sort of get the teachings of yoga to a broader audience.
Well, I'm curious because you say that you've really enjoyed the variety. That's kind of like your personality in some ways. So how challenging was it when we said, okay, in order for you to get grounded, you need to have one niche. You need to have one perfect client and have one signature program. And again, to not veer from that until you hit your income goals and then start looking at having other offerings. How was that kind of that philosophy and that business model?
It actually made a total sense because I developed an app 4 years ago, and I'd heard about that in the whole marketing, aspect of that is like finding niche. You have to speak to them specifically. You have to know their language, know where they hang out. I understood the concept, but I'd never done it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I trusted it straight away when I heard you say that. And it made total sense that, yoga is for everyone, but you're not everyone's teacher. And that line in itself made total sense. I mean, of course, I can see that over the years in my own classes. Some people like me and some people don't. And I get that. And that's not
Yeah.
personal. That you can't be everyone's teacher. And so that actually really helped me narrow it down and focus and harness my energy from out there to there. So I found that very useful, actually.
Hmm. Yeah, it's not something that I came up myself. It's one of those things that's been around for, easily 100 years in terms of just getting very clear on what it is that you love and putting your focus and energy there, and then taking it one step further. And it's like, well, who do I love to serve? Because we do almost want to be everyone's teacher, and it depends on how much we really want approval from people. But the truth is that we're just not everyone's cup of tea. We're just not. And there's some people that were more called to called to serve. And it's like, okay, well, let's put our focus there, because those are the people who are probably the most receptive to our message, and we're going to make the biggest impression. So why is it that you decided to do the Yoga Mastermind? What was it about the program that really made you want to say yes?
Realizing that marketing was a strong point, I was ready to focus on the app again, because I completed the app, but I put it on the shelf without really ever marketing it.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was like I stopped 3 feet from the seam, and I'm like, now's
3
the time.
feet from gold. Yeah. There you go.
And so it was just something I wanted to complete. And so my eyes were open, and I was ready to take on board some kind of marketing strategy. So when I found your ad on my Insta feed, I went, oh, it just hit a spot. And the next thing I know, I'm watching your webinar. The next thing I know, I'm on a call. And then the next thing I know, I'm like, I want to learn how to do that. That was wow. That was a highly efficient way of getting me speaking to you, and far more efficient than blogging and all that other stuff I wasn't interested in. So I thought, wow, that's I'm going to go with this. I'm ready. I'm ready to learn this. I trust these tools that you're about to teach me. It makes total sense. And so it was kind of an easy choice. I hadn't really tinkered with others.
Well, the interesting part of this is we will always teach a strategy, whether it's the webinar model or something else, but it always is founded on being a teacher. It's always founded on giving a lot of good content, earning the trust of your students. And some of them won't necessarily book calls with you ever, but you know that they're going to benefit from the information that you've given out. And I've used this example all the time, that the webinar is like, let's say you've got a group class, and at the end of the group class, you're going to talk about a workshop you've got coming up in 2 weeks. Well, when's the best time to talk about that workshop? Is it the beginning of class or the end of class? Most people guess the end of class, because that's when they're the height of their enjoyment with you. They got the teaching, they got that connection, that time of connection, and then you're just giving them an invitation to go one step further. So that's the webinar. The webinar is like, you teaching group classes on autopilot 24 hours a day around the world, and then you're just inviting people to go one step further. And so that's the beauty part, is that once that system is put together, it's on autopilot. So that the only thing that you have to do, as you know now, is focus on just talking to people that are interested in your signature program. Mm-hmm. And so tell me, like, what has been your results so far in the program?
Yeah, I just want to add to that too, because what I didn't realize, even though I was looking for a way to market the app, what I didn't realize is what the course was actually going to do for me in terms of offering me, structure to offer a broader audience what I know about yoga. Mm. And so it really tapped into, first of all, what I know about yoga, and it tapped into, it kind of opened the door that I'd been kind of withholding from, not having the confidence to know how to deliver it. And so that's what this course has really given me, is the structure, the bridge to deliver, right. And so once all those bricks and steel bars are in place, now I've reached my niche, and I've found great results. Like it's been so welcomed, and the students who are now in my own program, a couple of whom are now graduating, have nothing but thanks and gratitude, and the sense of great contentment from when they first started, of being agitated and not knowing the direction that they were going to head in, and a lot of other stuff coming up for them. But now they feel much more connected, much more content, and despite the current situation in the world as well, don't forget we're still at the end of this virus thing. So, but it really hasn't perturbed them. They're solid now. Like, it's really given them a great foundation. So
That's powerful to have people going through the pandemic, which is it's affected the mindset of so many people, and for them to still be able to carry on and continue to change their life. And that's what the point of all of this is that we as teachers want to work with our students in a deeper, more committed way. And that's the point of the signature program. Of course, the groundwork is, okay, what do I love to teach? Who do I want to teach that to? And once we know that person, creating the step-by-step program that honors the change they want to make in their life. And I think what people really gravitate towards is it's like, yeah, I think the perfect client is who I used to be, because I know where they came from. I know what's going on in their heart and their mind. I know what the physical symptoms are. And because you know who that person is, when you begin to help them in your signature program, it's so rewarding. It's like when the light comes on their eyes and they finally see a way out of the life and the suffering that they've had. It's why to me, it's why we became teachers, because we wanted to help our students change their lives the same way yoga did for us. And that was, for me, the biggest reason to create this model, was because the signature program allowed teachers to work with their students in such a, again, deep and profound way to truly affect change.
yeah, it brings great meaning into what you do, and to see people respond in that way, it just keeps confirming why we do this, and it brings great meaning into your work and to your life, and it gives a great purpose. And now really I'm finding what I'm doing effortless. Like, I love getting up in the morning and going, wow, what do I have to do today in this? And I'm loving every part of it, honestly. And I'm loving the connection I have with my own students and delivering the content, and all of that is just all making sense. Like, it's just absolutely cleared the way. And I think only people can benefit from that, right? Like, given all the other stuff out there that's around, like, this is just really beautiful work.
Well, so then what has been your biggest challenge, and then what's been your greatest joy in the program?
Apart from the calls with you, of course.
The biggest challenge. Got it.
No, you set us challenges, and how we face them and how we get through them. I mean, we have all the support in the world in your course to do that. That's the beautiful thing about your program, is that you have so many support coaches, from tech to mindset to accountability to sales. And you just have to lean on them. You just have to be able to open up and say, yeah, I need the support here. And so it's all about attendance. Just get on every single call that you possibly can, even if you've heard it before, because it takes a while for things to sink in when they're new.
Yeah.
So I really, committed to doing that, and I feel like I got a lot out of all of that. And so the more you put in, you realize the more you get back, and then you realize that that's what challenges are just all about, is just being with them. And the more time you spend with them and not avoid them, then the better you get to know them and the better relationship you have with them. And that's exactly what we want to teach our students, because life's full of challenges, and that as yoga teachers is our job, to guide people through them. And so the ones we're faced are the ones we're learning how to teach our students as well. Even though they might appear as different facades or as a different form, it's the same thing,
But is there a challenge that that you can point to that kind of made you look at yourself in a hard way, or tested yourself, whether with the technology or?
No, the tech stuff I really enjoyed, actually. I mean, it was challenging, absolutely. I would say, I've never sat down as a yoga teacher and written my own vision. I've never had a goal beyond next Tuesday. I've never known what that was going to look like, nor did I really care, because I was doing fine. Like, I really just trust that if I'm doing what I need to do, then everything's just going to roll on naturally and nicely. And so that was a challenge, to go, well, what do you want to do in 6 months and 12 months? Like, how does anyone know that stuff? So I really appreciated that. That was actually the hardest thing in the very, very beginning of the program.
Yeah, when we talk about it, answering the question, what do I really want, is one of the hardest questions, especially for us yogis, because we're taught to go beyond the wants and desires. because that's where true freedom lies. But to me, and I agree with that, every saint sage has ever said that. But to me, we have to first honor the wants and desires, allow ourselves to go after them, because if we allow ourselves, as opposed to the resistance, if we allow ourselves to go after them and we start to accomplish our goals, we start to feel abundance. To me, at that point, it's a lot easier to go beyond the wants and desires than when this like kind of push pull, you know, that we want something, oh, but we don't. That's not, you know, I want to make more money, oh, but I shouldn't, I'm a healer. And it's like, just give yourself permission to go after it, because this whole push pull relationship is not going to serve you in the long run, because it's just going to hang around this desire, as opposed to just let's cut through it. Let's just give yourself permission. And at the end of the day, the thing that makes this so different is you look at a lot of companies and they talk about marketing, and marketing is important, because how can we reach more people? How can we heal more lives? Well, we need to reach them, and that's marketing. That when we have this knowledge that could unlock someone's healing, we have an obligation to share that with the world. And that's what, you know, I think people think that sometimes if they market themselves, it's about ego. Ego is just seeing us as separate. You promoting your services, you promoting yoga, you're just promoting yoga. That's all you're doing. You're just maybe a different vehicle than someone else, a different messenger. But it's always going back to this 5,000-year-old practice of liberating the mind, the body, and the spirit. And that's what we're teaching. And so marketing doesn't have to be, of course, about making a bunch of money and being manipulative and mind tricks. The way that we teach it is that be a teacher, give from your heart, be authentic, really speak to your audience and speak to what's going on, their thoughts, their feelings, what's in their heart, and then give them how they can begin to make some changes. And some people are going to grab hold of that information. They're like, man, I love this. And they're going to want to follow you and just go further. And that's all we're doing, is we're giving great information and giving people an invitation to go one step further. Some people are going to take it, some people not. But you're going to find that those who take it, those are often your perfect clients, the people who resonate with your message. And to me, again, that's, I think, why most of us became teachers, because we wanted to affect true change. We didn't get in it just to teach a bunch of group classes or a workshop here and there. Not that there's anything wrong with it. But so many of us have so much of an intention to change lives. And I think, that's what we need to come back to. Apparently the chipmunk outside really appreciates my messaging. Well, let me ask you, what do you see for yourself in the future? Like, now that you've gone through this program, you talk about vision, you've gone through this program, you've laid out and you put this amazing business model and signature program together. What do you see for your future?
Pretty much the same. I see, all I know is what I'm committed to, and like you're saying, if you're not teaching from your heart, then this is not going to work. You don't do it necessarily to achieve the KPIs or the money or the whatever, because I feel that if I focus on that as a reason to drive me and motivate me, then this isn't going to work. It really is about receiving in harmony to what you give. And so my commitment is just to stay true to that no matter what I do. But I really feel like this is so solid. This could take me through to the end of my life working like this. And I'm very content to do that, really. Like, why would I do anything else? Because A, I'm serving the community, and B, I'm serving myself and my partner, and my family and everyone around me. Like, it's already brought some wonderful change into my life where I don't have to prove myself as a teacher anymore. I'm so happy and content working in this meaningful, program with my own students and seeing their progress. And like, that just kind of brings a level of contentment, which stops me looking around, for anything else to do. It's really, truly just a whole complete thing for me. So I can't see anything beyond that.
No, it's really beautiful. And just a quickly add on to that and that's our goal. That's our goal, is that by the time that you finish the program, you have a scalable model that okay, if I do this every month, then on average, I'm going to get this many clients and this much revenue in return. And just from being a coach, and of course, as a yoga teacher, I'm always surrounded by women for the most part. But when I started coaching women, it was a completely different shift. And I realized that women saw success in a lot of different ways than men did. Men, we often go back to money or certain power or things that we've built. But for a lot of women, it's more of a feeling. It's a feeling state versus anything else. And so the thing that we always wanted to do was, we do want to honor the fact that we want healers to make money to be able to support themselves and save for the future. But it's all based upon providing more value to the student. And again, Baxter, you've honored our program with your attendance, and I am so grateful that you are part of this. Thank you so much for your time today and kind of sharing your thoughts and your feelings. I appreciate that, and obviously wish you nothing but the best as you move on in the program.
Thanks, Ron. I mean, I can't tell you how much I appreciate what you've, brought to me in my life and offered that structure and support. And it's exactly what I needed, And I actually remember watching one of these interviews at the very beginning when I started the program, because I'm scouring around looking for evidence, and I'm thinking, well, how successful is this program? And is it, have I made the right decision? All those things that you look for in the beginning. And I remember watching you interview, I think, a Kylie from New Zealand, and I went, one day I'm going to be that person. I'm going to be that one who's interviewing. So it works. You just have to trust the process and the program. So thank you so much for offering that and supporting it and staying true to it. It works. It works if you do it. It works if you trust it. There's always a leap of faith involved. In any new challenges and new work. So if you stick to it, it works. That's what I can say. So thank you, Ron.
Thank you, Baxter. Again, it's been an honor. Thank you so much again for your time today. And I look forward to talking to you very soon.